Hi.
There's something I've noticed over my years working with patients and conducting research on healthy aging. When people reach their 60s, there's often this quiet moment of realization. It usually doesn't come all at once. It's more like a gradual awareness that the body responds differently now than it did even 5 or 10 years ago. And I want to talk with you today about what that actually means, because I think there's been a lot of confusion, and honestly, a lot of unnecessary worry about this phase of life. My name is Dr. Samuel, and I've spent most of my career studying how the human body ages and what we can do to support our health as we get older. What I've learned, both from research and from working directly with thousands of people in your age group, is that the story we've been told about aging is incomplete. Yes, things change after 60, but the nature of those changes is far more interesting and far more hopeful than most people realize. Let me start with something that surprised me when I first encountered it in the research. There's a phenomenon that epidemiologists have been tracking for decades now, and it has to do with what they call the compound effect of daily choices. When you're younger, your body has enormous reserves. Think of it like a bank account with a very large buffer. If you skip sleep one night, your body compensates. If you eat poorly for a week, your metabolic system adjusts. If you sit for long periods, your cardiovascular system doesn't show much immediate change. But here's what happens as we age. Those reserves gradually become more modest. Not depleted, but more modest. Your body is still remarkably capable, but it becomes more responsive to the patterns you establish. The buffer gets smaller, which means the daily inputs start to matter more. A study from the University of Cambridge followed over 10,000 adults for more than 20 years, and what they found was fascinating. The health trajectories of people in their 40s were relatively similar regardless of small lifestyle variations. But after 60, small differences in daily habits began to create measurable divergence in health outcomes within just a few years. This isn't about being fragile. In fact, I want to be very clear about that because I think it's the wrong way to think about it. Your body at 60 or 70 is still adaptive, still capable of remarkable change and improvement. What's different is the sensitivity. Think of it like tuning an instrument. A small adjustment makes a bigger difference in the sound. Your body becomes more finely tuned to what you do every single day. Now, let me explain what's actually happening at a biological level, because I think when you understand this, it makes everything else make more sense. After about age 60, there are several systems in your body that shift in how they operate. Your muscle protein synthesis, which is how your body builds and maintains muscle tissue, becomes less efficient. Not broken, less efficient. Research from the Journal of Applied Physiology has shown that older adults need more stimulus to trigger the same muscle maintenance response that younger people get from less effort. Your inflammatory response system also changes. We used to think inflammation was just about injuries and infections, but we now understand that there's a baseline level of inflammation in everyone's body, and this tends to increase with age. Scientists call it inflammaging. It's subtle, but it's there. And here's the thing, many of the small daily choices you make either feed this inflammatory tendency or help quiet it. Your glucose metabolism shifts as well. The way your body processes sugar and manages insulin becomes less flexible. This doesn't mean you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, it just means your system has less wiggle room. A meal that your body would have handled easily at 40 might create a more pronounced blood sugar spike at 65. Again, not catastrophic, just different. What does all this actually mean for your daily life? Well, this is where it gets practical, and this is where I see a lot of people either get overwhelmed or, on the opposite end, completely dismiss the information. Neither response is helpful. Let me give you a clearer picture. If you're walking regularly, and I know many people your age do, that's genuinely valuable. Walking matters. It helps maintain cardiovascular health, it supports joint mobility, and it has psychological benefits that we can measure. But what the research is showing us is that walking alone may not provide quite enough stimulus to maintain muscle mass and bone density as you get older. Your muscles need a certain level of challenge to get the signal to maintain or build tissue. It's not that walking is insufficient, it's that the body's requirements for muscle maintenance change. A longitudinal study from Tufts University tracked older adults for 8 years. Those who combined walking with some form of resistance activity, even very modest resistance like bodyweight exercises or light weights, maintained their functional capacity significantly better than those who only walked. We're not talking about dramatic differences in what they did. We're talking about small additions to their routine. But the outcomes diverged noticeably over time. The same principle applies to nutrition. When you're younger, your body can extract nutrients efficiently from a wide variety of foods, and it can compensate if you miss certain nutrients for a while. After 60, your digestive efficiency changes slightly, and your body's ability to synthesize certain nutrients from precursors becomes less robust. You need more dietary protein to maintain muscle than you did before, for instance. Not huge amounts, but more than you needed at 45. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 60 who consumed adequate protein spread throughout the day maintained significantly more muscle mass and strength over a 5-year period than those who consumed less protein, even when total calorie intake was similar. Again, we're not talking about radical differences in diet. We're talking about being more intentional about including protein sources with meals. Sleep is another area where the compound effect becomes very clear. The data on this is quite striking. Short-term sleep deprivation affects everyone, but the recovery from poor sleep takes longer as we age, and the downstream effects on things like cognitive function, immune response, and metabolic health become more pronounced. The brain's waste clearance system, which operates primarily during deep sleep, becomes less efficient with age. If you're not getting enough quality sleep, that waste accumulation has a more noticeable impact. Now, I want to pause here and address something I hear frequently from patients. They'll say, "Dr. Samuel, this all sounds like I need to become hyper-vigilant about everything I do, and I understand that concern. But that's actually not what I'm suggesting at all. What I'm talking about is awareness and consistency, not perfection or obsession." Think about it this way. If you're driving a car and the steering becomes a bit more responsive, you don't need to grip the wheel harder or constantly make corrections. You just need to be a little more aware and make smaller, smoother adjustments. That's what this phase of life is like. Small adjustments, maintained consistently, create stability. Let me give you a concrete example. Let's say you typically eat breakfast around 8 in the morning, and it's usually something light like toast or cereal. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're aware that your body now benefits more from having protein in the morning, you might add an egg or some Greek yogurt a few times a week. You haven't revolutionized your diet. You've made a small adjustment that your body will respond to positively over time. Or consider your evening routine. Maybe you've been staying up late watching television, getting 6 hours of sleep most nights. You function okay. You're used to it. But knowing that sleep quality matters more now, you might experiment with going to bed 30 minutes earlier, a few nights a week, and see how you feel. If you notice a difference in how your body feels, in your energy during the day, that information is valuable. What researchers are finding, and this is something that genuinely excites me about this field, is that the body at any age retains what we call plasticity. It can still adapt, still improve, still respond positively to good inputs. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology followed adults in their 60s and 70s who began a new exercise program. Within 12 weeks, they saw measurable improvements in strength, balance, and even cognitive function. 12 weeks. That's remarkable when you think about it. The key is understanding that the relationship between input and output has changed slightly. The same input that maintained your health at 50 might need to be enhanced a bit to maintain your health at 65. But we're talking about enhancement, not complete overhaul. I think one of the most important things I can share with you is this. The changes that happen after 60 are not a decline into fragility. They're a shift into a different kind of resilience. Your body becomes more efficient in many ways, more refined in how it responds. But it also becomes clearer in what it needs. And if you can tune into those needs and respond with small, consistent adjustments, you can maintain remarkable vitality. There's research emerging now about what scientists call the longevity dividend. This is the idea that the years you add to your life through healthy habits after 60 tend to be high-quality years, not just extended years. Studies from the Harvard School of Public Health have shown that people who adopt or maintain healthy lifestyle factors in their 60s add not just years to their lifespan, but functional, independent years. They're not just living longer, they're living better during those additional years. And here's something else worth knowing. The speed at which you see benefits from positive changes actually increases in some ways as you age. When you're younger, your body has such large reserves that improvements can be hard to notice. But after 60, when you make a positive change, you often feel the difference more quickly. Improved sleep quality shows up in your energy levels within days. Better nutrition choices reflect in how you feel within a week or two. Movement practices show benefits in mobility and strength within weeks. I had a patient, I'll call her Margaret, who came to see me when she was 68. She was frustrated because she felt like her energy was declining and she didn't know what to do about it. We talked through her typical day, her sleep, her eating patterns, her activity level. She was doing many things right, but there were small gaps. She wasn't getting much protein at breakfast, she was staying up quite late most nights, and her walking routine was good, but didn't include any strength challenge. We didn't make dramatic changes. She started including a protein source at breakfast most days. She adjusted her evening routine to aim for an extra hour of sleep, and she added 2 short sessions per week where she did simple resistance exercises using her own body weight. Nothing extreme, no gym membership, no complicated routine. When I saw her 3 months later, she described feeling more energetic, sleeping better, and noticing that daily tasks felt easier. Her lab work showed improvements in several markers, but what struck me most was how she described it. She said, "Dr. Samuel, I feel like my body is cooperating with me again." And I think that's a beautiful way to put it. That's really what we're talking about here. Creating a cooperative relationship with your body, understanding what it needs at this stage of life, and providing those things consistently. Not perfectly, but consistently. I want to be very clear that I'm not suggesting there's a formula that works for everyone. Bodies are individual. Health histories are unique. What I am suggesting is that after 60, the margin for error gets smaller, but the opportunity for positive impact from small changes gets larger. Those two things are happening simultaneously. The research community has learned so much in the past 15 years about healthy aging. We understand now that many of the things we used to attribute to inevitable aging are actually the result of accumulated lifestyle patterns. We also understand that it's never too late to shift those patterns. The body remains responsive throughout life. What we're learning now is that the 6th and 7th decades of life are not a time to back off from taking care of yourself. They're actually a time when those efforts start to compound more noticeably. The small things you do, the choices you make about movement, nutrition, sleep, stress management, they begin to add up in ways that are measurable and meaningful. This isn't about fear. It's not about trying to hold back time or fight against nature. It's about understanding the natural changes that occur and working with them intelligently. Your body is giving you clearer feedback now than it did before. That's actually a gift, even if it doesn't always feel like one. So when I say that small daily health choices start to matter more after 60, what I mean is that your body has become more attuned to what you do each day. The buffer zone has narrowed. But that sensitivity can work in your favor. Every good choice has more impact. Every positive habit compounds more noticeably. Every day you take care of yourself is a day you're building toward continued vitality and independence. I've been doing this work long enough to see the long-term outcomes. I've watched patients in their 60s make small, sustainable changes and reach their 70s with strength, clarity, and energy. I've also seen people ignore the signals their body was sending and struggle with preventable decline. The difference between those two paths is often not dramatic interventions or extreme measures. It's consistent, thoughtful attention to the fundamentals. You're at a point in life where you have tremendous agency over your trajectory. The choices you make now genuinely shape what the next 10 or 20 years look like. And the beautiful thing is, those choices don't have to be complicated or overwhelming. They can be simple, sustainable, and even enjoyable. I hope this conversation has given you a clearer understanding of what's happening in your body and why the small, daily things matter more now. You're not fragile. You're not in decline. You're in a phase of life where your body is asking for a bit more intentionality and where it rewards that intentionality more generously than it did before. That's something worth paying attention to. This video contains health-related information created with the assistance of artificial intelligence. If you believe you may have a medical concern, we recommend consulting a qualified medical professional.